I have a water bottle, only I left it at Berlin. I also have a bamboo toothbrush, actually. And I try to avoid prepackaged food, actually. Yeah.
My first very bad influence happened in China while I was working in China. Actually, it's maybe more about artist empathy, that you can imagine what will happen from one bag, if you see one thrown bag, thank you, in the nature, and how it will impact your surrounding. And when my kids born, after that I told to myself, you cannot just think about yourself, you have your kids, you have to think about them, about their future. So it's more about kids, I think. And also when I was in very polluted area in China, it was all in water, everything was you know, a lot of pile of trash, whatever, it was stinky, and I was working very near to ocean. Actually, I was on the seaside, and everything was going inside. So I think it's enough for impact for me.
Thank you. We have already got an impression about what are you doing. If you can make it more specific, it would be interesting for us, I'm sure. But my other question is that what experiences do you like to create? Yesterday, all of us were at the hackathon, and we started it with a question that if I tell you that water is at risk, then it arises different feelings and intentions. And as you are scientists and doing things for the society, and you are also really socially engaged artist, so I'm sure that you would like to create something with your art or work or projects.
Actually, I think there is an answer in this question, but yeah, can I have it in a small, short version, the question?
What experiences do you like to
create? I like to shock people, always. Shock. Yeah, it's very important. You have to shock them, you have to fucking scare them, because it's very important. It's about our life. And we have no, I think we lose the measure for life. How hard is it to keep it alive, or something like that? And people are full of every kind of information every day. They are pumped with a lot of things, whatever. So with wars, with crime and corruption and all these political shit, whatever. And they just didn't realize that these things are happening in their surrounding. And because of that, you have to frighten them, you have to shock them, you have to scare them with what is happening. So I like to so-called, yeah, it's all about illusion. My profession is to be illusionist, and to give them this illusion. Oh my God, how nice is this? It looks like a piece of art, but it isn't an art. It's garbage. So if they are faced with this garbage, but first they have been influenced with the beauty of the garbage, I think it can work somehow. So you can go under their skin, under the skin of the public, because then you will start to make something with this. So yeah, you have to plant the seed of thinking, the seed of fear, or I don't know what, positive fear, I think.
Yeah, I do agree that shock is a very important tool in art, but I tend to disagree. I don't think that fear is what makes people act. I think fear tends to paralyze people, and I think people are already paralyzed enough. So if you can shock them out of the paralysis, that would be fine. But you know, it's hard. The dosage is hard to determine. So Yeah, different approaches.
Sorry.
Yes.
So I have to interrupt you. I mean fear in a positive way.
Yeah.
You are feared every day, in every minute. So you survive your life with fear. Don't forget about that.
I'm not forgetting it. Fear is also a consumer good which people consume in cinemas, in front of the computer. And when you shock people too much, they become insensitive. For example, if you check movies, contemporary movies, and compare them to movies from 10 years back, 20 years back, they have to become ever more bloody, gory, quicker, in order to create the same sense of shock. That's yeah. I love artwork that shocks, really. I'm all in favor of it. But I cannot say the same thing as you said now, okay? So my position is different.
You don't have to.
But actually my approach is also different, because what I like to do is to encourage people to have their own ideas, their own visions, and to come up with their own solutions. And to rediscover that feeling that we can actually do something instead of just sitting there and thinking that everything has to be the way it is. Encouragement, empowerment is better. Yeah, encouragement is too weak a thing, because we have this kind of apathy. I think Frankie said that we had this apathy. I think that's an excellent term to describe it. We have that on a political level, but we also have it on a micro-political, emotional, private level, which I find really, really... no, not boring, but distressing, really. Distressing, yeah. And I think it's good to work against that on all levels.
I would, or I do tell the people the facts, and these are shocking, yes. And then I will, or I do take the people by the hand, and to show that it's possible for everyone to act. It's not only that the politicians have to change now and something, yes, they do have, but everyone can do anything. So just it's not so hard to change yourself and your daily routine by avoiding plastic.
So thanks for this very interesting answers. When we talk about the public and specifically about socially engaged art, what do you think, what type of public you reach the most? Because yesterday at the hackathon we came always to this first idea, we have to connect children. But in the public space, I don't know if children really get this, you know, these big objects. I don't know, maybe they are too big for them, you know. So can you specify the public you address?
Well, if I'm talking about the work of EUCC-D, we address our things we are doing to different target groups. We have the student groups, but also families, like litter monitorings. Everyone is taking part at these monitorings, and but also the government, because all the data we are collecting from these monitorings are going into research. Yes, our target group is like really widespread. Yes.
And the most, let's say, what is the biggest number of whether children or adults? Can you specify?
No, not really. I think it's a general public, like people with not that scientific background. Yes.
Yeah, I think with me it depends a lot on the project. I do like addressing the general public too. Like with the poster project, I did I loved it. I did a project on the metro TV, on the subway in Berlin. I showed animations on the video screens there. That was great. So I reached around an average, I don't know, several thousand people each day. That was cool. On the other hand, I have these students on my hands, or they have me on their hands, depending on how you look at it. And there is stuff I have to teach them officially, like when you use a carving knife, never point it to your belly, always point it in the other direction. It's true, I have to teach them, it's important. And of course there is the stuff that I try to teach them unofficially, like I try to offer them occasions to do stuff they normally wouldn't do. Like I try to offer them occasions to make mistakes, fuck up, take risks, change their views, and so on. And that is something that is also possible when you do art projects where you actually talk to people. So I also like to work a lot with interviews where you have these intimate moments where you actually get to know people and they get to know you, and you can make space for what they think and their ideas, and help these ideas come into the world. And that's also important, I think. Oh, you have your own. Sorry.
Yeah. It's sustainable. A couple of years ago, I started to make workshops for students from university and high school, and we were working together. Actually, we always find a kind of place which can be used by us, so we use these spaces at Serbia as a SWATs. Actually, we reuse